going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Hope everyone's doing well. Get started here in a sec. He said, short squeeze alert, short squeeze alert, short squeeze. There's no real data that comes out today. I already know that, actually. Yeah, NQ's in the middle of, like, no man's land. I mean, has ridden back down to 1975. Gold is, I was telling Discord this last night. Gold is kind of the story from pre-market. Gold's gone berserk overnight. I mean, just straight up. Pretty incredible, all things considered. Trying to go for 3,400 here. We'll see. So pretty crazy. But yeah, ES on support down here, 56.16, same level we've had. ES, I mean, dude, ES is underperforming NASDAQ by a long shot. I mean, ES is at support. Dow's at 41K. It's a flat line here, but yeah. That's kind of what we've been looking at. What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, Nuggets game was crazy. It's a good game. But yeah, looking for downside here. NASDAQ under 19.8. I mean, you're looking down 19.76. It's not even a level. I mean, we don't have a level until you get down to 19.6. I'll tell you that right now. Me and Jordan both don't. But I mean, this is where he bounced last Thursday, and the after hours. Remember, you had that news come out. You were dropping. The news came out that you bounced up after Apple and Amazon earnings. So we'll see. I mean, ES is also here at support right now, so don't want to jump the gun. Apple's still really weak from yesterday. Talked a lot about this yesterday in yesterday's video. Very, very weak name. No strength really coming out of the gate here on Apple. I mean, you have that gap fill all the way down there, like 193.5, 194. I'd be waiting for that as well. It's a big one. Definitely be watching that. Tesla's still weak. I mean, back out on 274. You lose 273.9. You have room to the downside as well. There's Amazon. Amazon was another one on my list that was weak today. Yeah, Amazon weak, 184. Filling the gap, though. Here at open, so nothing really crazy there. Semis. All things considered. I mean, NVIDIA holds below 112.4. A lot of weakness there. A lot of weakness. 19.797. No, my level's been up here. Sec. So I'm gonna pull it all up. Yeah. I don't have a level there. I have a level here, 19.97, but no, I don't have a level there. If you go in Discord, you can look too. What'd you say? Yeah. So if you go into Discord, you can go up to the top right. You can just search the level. I mean, you can go to the pre-market. I mean, go to the watch list and look, but it's just not. I don't have nothing there. So I'm saying, me and like, even if you go back to like the past few days, like, when you got above 19.7 or 19.6, where's it at? See 19.97, and I have nothing back to the downside. You just don't have nothing. I mean, and it makes sense because, like, see 19.6, there's a void there. But again, like when you zoom out, I think logically, like I said, it makes sense. You go like to the 2-hour chart here. I mean, anytime you've broken below 19.97, you've hit 19.6. So, yeah. So really just nothing happening here. No buyer stepping in. Gold about to hit 3,400 here as well. Gold doing this thing. One second, let me grab my coffee real quick. Give me a second, I'm gonna grab my coffee. Man. What's going on? What's going on? There you go. 3,400 right there. That's what you're looking for. Probably break above it, to be honest. I'm telling you, gold overnight was like, I mean, people always talk about gold runs, but the recovery you're getting overnight is concerning for the market. I'll give you an example why. So, now, I think the way gold trades is it should be almost as an indicator sometimes. I'll elaborate what I mean by that, but yeah. So when you're trading gold or when you're looking at gold, you gotta understand why is it going up. Typically, usually it's going up in risk on or like risk off situations. So, yeah, I mean that's like one of the biggest things to understand. My SMAs are always to the they're always set to the daily. So yeah. So with gold, what's interesting here is you go like to the 4 hour. Like obviously you've seen like look at a monster move up. Now basically from April like 8th, 7th to here, like, the market was pretty pretty uncertain, right? But you're rallying back here. So this is definitely interesting. So the question more is this just a pre-move? Like, is this like people hedging maybe into FOMC tomorrow? Because I mean I think it's pretty positive like that we're pausing rates again. It would be unlikely if we cut rates. I think it'd be really bullish. Like it'd be really really good. But I just don't think we're gonna do that. It could be wrong, but that's just my personal opinion there. So I mean, my question is like, is this like a pre-move for that, and then we kind of come back to reality during the FOMC meeting or after, right? Or is this a leading indicator to some of the issues that we're having, like that are still out there, right? What am I getting my wife for Mother's Day? She wants like a table set for our backyard. I'm like merging our anniversary present and our Mother's Day. Our anniversary is on 19th. So, yeah. But anyways, so really interesting where we're at and how you're moving in the overnight. I mean, honestly, gold, pretty good trade overnight, to be honest. You went straight up, but yeah, kind of where my head's at. I've been watching the overnight session. I mean, ES, like I said, you're seeing more selling occur here on ES, and like you're not even at like you can't even get to the point of concern here on ES yet, because to get concerned on these charts for like Nasdaq and ES to look for more downside, you have to break back below like March 13th, March 10th lows. Like you have to. So for ES that'd be like 55.60, which could hit today. I mean, realistically, that could hit today, tomorrow morning, right? Especially if selling starts to ensue. You go to Nasdaq, you're looking for you have 19.6 as our big level, but then you also have 19.37, 19.35, which was a very tough level for us to get. I mean, look at how we took forever for us to mount. Once we mounted, it was really nice. So you get back below those levels, I think you're in trouble. But the question is we have some time in between then, and then obviously FOMC tomorrow, which is a big day. So we'll see. Yeah, just a really interesting way to start this right now. I mean, I definitely assume today into tomorrow, before pre FOMC, you expect downside in the market. I just would. I mean, it just makes sense getting. I mean, I would love to see a pullback. Honestly, 19.6, 19.35, ideal scenario. But yeah. Also, too, guys, I keep forgetting, but if you guys are looking to get into futures trading, top one's 55% off right now. So take advantage of that with the code Hefe. Always forget to mention that. I don't know how long it's gonna last, so that will not last. I know the CEO, owner, top one, like already told us that. Market's still doing the big move overnight. Makes intraday trading tougher. Sad about it. I mean, I kind of agree, but I don't like. You're in the middle of a range, so I don't think you're gonna sit here. Sorry, I'm muted. Yikes. So AWOL, what you said was market's still doing the big move overnight. Kind of sad about it. I personally don't think you're in that bad of a position here. Granted, you're in the middle of a range. Don't love that. Not a fan. But on the other side of this is you have two key levels here. One, 1997, 19.6, right? Clear as day. And I don't think there's any reason. I don't suspect us to just sit in the middle part here. Okay. I think we get out of this pretty easily. I think we move to the top side or the bottom side pretty easily. I think ideally, like in a perfect world, you'd see VWAP closer, so like we can either mount or reject off that level easier. But I mean, it's not a perfect world. So 1997 is a huge level. 19.6, massive level. So I think we would have hit it last Thursday if it wasn't for the news that came out from Trump. So are you wanting to see 19.3 because of you think FOMC will be bullish, therefore more room to go up? No, if we're getting downside and sellers are trying to get aggressive, I would like to see us come back into a major retest like 19.35. Get a BRB off that. So if you get continuation back to the upside, you feel more confident. Like, okay, we retested a key level. We're bouncing off that key level. This is what you wanted to see. You know what I mean? That's how my brain's working. So retest on levels are good. Typically, like if you get a strong break and retest of a level, that just confirms that buyers are strong where they're at. We could open up slightly lower than the gap fill up is another chart indicator. Ron, I don't know what you mean. What does that mean? There's no gap fill in Nasdaq. There's no gap fill. Yeah, no worries, Pod. Appreciate it, Sergeant. I do appreciate it. Hit the like, does help out. Yeah, Ron, I don't know what you're talking about. I also want to say too, like if you're in Discord, like so first of all, like if you guys join Discord, I think it's important to understand that it's obviously like I post my trades when I'm looking at things along those lines. Like don't get me wrong, but I would take advantage of like trying to learn. Like that's what the primary focus that I would, if I was paying money for it, I would try to learn from the people that I'm like paying, and I would just like try to focus on what we're doing. I'm never trying to predict. I'm never trying to assume. I'm not trying to say, okay, we're gonna get a massive move up at open. Like those things aren't part of like anything that I'm doing ever. Like you're never gonna hear me like push like some random idea typically, unless like it's like FOMC. Then like I guess you kind of have to look at it from that viewpoint. But yeah, I want to make that really, really, really clear. So yeah. So looking at S&P overnight again, I don't really care about SPY that much. I mean, your levels down here at 555, but like ES and futures are more important here. ES is at a big support though, so this is why again you track futures predominantly. So again, let's go. But again, if you don't want to do the work, that is okay. Like if you guys want to pay for it and like not do the work and learn, that is totally like up to you guys. Like, be my guest. You can give us money every month and just not pay. That's okay. That's totally up to you guys. Okay, but again, that's what everything. Like I always say, starts with your trade plan. Like every day, everything that we do here starts. So when I start a YouTube video, when I start a live stream, when I go in Discord every single morning, the first thing that I always post, the first thing I post is futures. The first thing. Every morning. The first thing you're going to hear from me in Discord, unless there's some crazy news, is 9 out of 10 times futures. Because that is the foundation of your trade plan. If you do not know how futures are moving, it's going to be difficult to trade stocks, equities, and if you're trying to trade SPY or Qs, it's going to be even more difficult to trade SPY or Qs if you don't know where futures are. So you also have to understand that. So again, then you go into your bias and you go into your trades. So again, like going into this with just like, okay, we might gap fill on SPY at a morning. That's totally like opposite of anything and everything that I do, right? I don't look for gap fills if we just drop down, right? That's just not like right here, right? For instance, we kind of dropped down on Thursday, Friday we gapped up. Why? I wouldn't look for a gap up. I just wouldn't. Or I wouldn't look for the gap fill. I won't only look for gap fill if I'm looking for downside, if I'm looking for selling pressure, right? So, again, important to identify that, look for that, do what you want to do. But, again, I would just try to learn from things that we're talking about in Discord and the education there instead of just random thoughts and ideas. Imagine walking through life without a plan. That's crazy. I mean, a lot of people do that one, actually. But, yeah, you also have a gap down to 556. Like, it's both sides of this trade, so... That's why ES is so important, because ES is out of support, so logically that kind of makes sense. You're looking maybe for a VWAP slap here at open, but we'll see. It's also going to depend heavily, like a lot of your major equity names, Apple, like I said, Amazon's opening up really weak. I wish it wouldn't, but they're opening up very weak here at market open. So I'm expecting not ideal movement. Even Nvidia, if Nvidia holds below 112.4, that's a huge cautionary sign for me as well. We'll see how we open, though. You have to be a little bit patient here and wait for that to open up to see where we're at. But, yeah, not what you want to see. AVGO opening near 196.5, major key level. I expect this to try to bounce. I don't expect this to go straight through it. We'll see. But I'd be watching there as well. Where's Tesla? Tesla's at 274. Yeah, 274, 275, holding up. Meta's been a really good name. But, like, you're opening right up at your previous high there. Can't do nothing with that. Microsoft, chilling. So, great info on the gap fill. No problem. I mean, I don't think gap fills are... I'm not saying that it's bad to trade gap fills. That's not what I'm saying, okay? But, like, I made I think I made a video on this the other day. But, let's go to SPY, okay? So, let's say... okay, this is a great example. Okay, so let's say we have two gap fills here, right? Two gap fills. We have one here, and this is exactly how I would trade it intraday. Okay, and then you have one. You're gonna have one right here now. Okay, you have one here, one down here. Your price is opening at 559. So by logical reasoning, or by the reasoning of okay, gap fill, you trade gap fill the end. That's it. All I think about is gap fills. Okay, you don't know what you're doing here because you have two. What do you do? What do you trade? Right. So all I ever push is number one. Like I recommend trading ES or understanding how ES futures are moving because it'll make everything much easier. So what I do is I come in, initially mark out my levels on NASDAQ, ES, how the market's moving, etc. So I make my plan based off of futures. My trade plan's always based off of futures. No matter what. That's all that matters to me is futures. Then from there, and even like it's not SPY, it's not Qs, it's just ES, NASDAQ, and then maybe Dow if I want to track Dow, right? And then from there, I'll go to my bias that I'm looking at. So if I'm looking at from a market view of, okay, there's the NASDAQ, overnight we're moving very weak, we're underneath VWAP. In that sense, I would be looking for downside most of the time, unless we're like at a key level or support, we're trying to bounce. So I'd be looking for continuation to the downside, unless we mount back over the VWAP. Now, what's important to realize here is part of that trade plan is understanding that, okay, look, you have about 70 points till VWAP. I might miss out on trades in between this time period here, right? In between 906 and 830, I'm fine missing out on trades because I can't trade. I'm not going to trade the downside. I'm not going to go short at lows, right? Like unless we break. If we break lows, and cool. But like, I'm not going to go short just randomly here. There's no reason for me to go short, right? There's nothing in my trade plan that says that. But if we get above VWAP, I can trade us back into 1997, right? So you understand what I'm looking for, why I'm looking. There's a clear reason for everything that I'm doing, right? Defined in my trade plan, right? So again, then I have my bias established. So until we mount up a VWAP, I'm still looking for downside. If we reject off a VWAP, I'm looking for downside. If we break below lows, I'm looking for downside, right? So then I determine my entry point from there based on whatever I'm trying to trade. So that being said, if I'm seeing that ES and NASDAQ are rejecting back to the downside, right, below VWAP, whatever it may be, then I start looking for that gap fill as one of my targets on the downside. But only thing you're looking at for me with gap fills, those are just targets, right? Those are just new levels that I'm looking at, right? And they're not going to stay there forever. They're just going to be intraday levels. That's very important to understand as well. So once we hit this level, it's gone. My other key levels stay there forever, majority of the time, right? So it's important to also like have a comprehension of that. So all this is like a new target, like even like a target level where I take half off instead of going waiting till 564. That's the only thing that changes there. Thoughts on HIM's earnings? I think is it down? I like HIMS as a company, personally, big fan. So yeah, it's one of my favorite mid cap names. I mean, I would have told you not to trade earnings, but yeah. So did Upstart have earnings too this week? I think Upstart had it. I thought Upstart had it last night. Maybe yeah. I forgot. Okay, let's go over the. I'm gonna actually do the rundown real quick, and then I'm actually gonna hop out of here. I want to play with my son before market open. Can hear him waking up. Can hear him screaming and waking up. Excuse me. Y'all probably can hear him too. He is not quiet. I mean, I wouldn't even really consider this as a demand down there. That's how weak it is. Okay. So mark it out. One. If you have any questions too, I'll answer them before I hop out of here as well. Pre-market lows, where they at? Amount VWAP push into. I'm going short Apple to 195. What do you got? You have a gap for like a 194, I think. I mean, I see like 195 as well, but I'm just saying you have a gap fill there. Need to see ES lose this level. 56.16. It's a big spot. Below this, you might drop down to 55.60, to be honest, if you lose this level. That's not a level. Okay, sideways kind of day. Dude, I kind of think we get down. I mean, if we sit under 19,977, maybe. I think you get some downside though. Anyways, it's basically it. No one really had any questions, so went over a few quick things. I'm probably gonna make like a checklist that we're gonna go through every morning during these live streams, and then if you guys don't have questions, I'll just leave after the checklist. So it'll be a little bit more structured, a little bit less sporadic, if you will. So I'm working on that too. You guys have been liking the mind maps and stuff, so we're probably gonna be doing it just like this. By the time I'm done, you guys are gonna hate mind maps. But also, I appreciate you Discord link all.